typical 40-year-old. I've gone from loving teen flicks to loving Diane Keaton films and realizing there's nothing in between. Even Molly Ringwald, my generation's teenage icon, wrote a book about growing old gracefully. Her book was about men, motherhood, exercise, and food. I mean, I eat, sometimes I exercise, but I hardly relate to motherhood, and I really don't think I need to read about men. As your typical, over-analytical, 40-year-old queer Scorpio, I feel isolated and growing old. Where are my role models? Where are my peers? Who's living a life that I feel inspired by? I need some heroes, and I think I found some.
Especially in the aerial community, because I was one of the very first people in Seattle to be doing it on a regular basis in this new, neo-circus, pop neo-circus culture. I was one of the first. I was one of the first burlesque performers in town. But the burlesque community that exists now, the people who have been around for a long time, many of them created their personas in the first shows that I did at the Fallen Women Follies. And really, I've only been doing aerial and performing for about 20 years. So, I'm only halfway through my career as far as I'm concerned. And, some of the things that I'm doing now are throwing myself a little more earnestly into production and helping other people produce different shows and being involved in very different shows that I'm normally involved in, like the Not All Clowns Are Bozos, the makeup group.
I'm a priestess of the goddess, and I have founded a ministry called Gaia's Temple, which is a house of worship that honors the divine feminine. It's a great adventure because, as far as I know, it hasn't been done. I believe there are other goddess temples in our country, but they're for women only, and this is open to men and women. Everyone is welcome in Gaia's Temple. It included everything from offering the goddess worship services in an ongoing way, to becoming a nonprofit organization, to creating an official membership, to having a youth program for our children.
As I grow older in an ageist society, I'm not one to take ageism and the sense of invisibility, isolation, and oblivion lightly. So I ask my heroes, can we or should we take back the word old? Old, old.
Well, I think it's very wise to reclaim and take back the word old. I think it's a sad commentary that we even have to think about taking back a word, because it really just shows how words in our language and our lexicon become so different, so many different connotations for what they originally mean.
For me, the term taking back means it meant something good once and now it doesn't and we have to take it back. But I am not sure. I mean, I know there was a time in history, many times in different cultures, when old was revered, but I still think in many ways just the word old has never really had a great connotation to it.
As someone who's just embracing her 40s and not obsessed with looking younger and keeping my body in shape to look younger, instead, I want to marvel at the complexity of life and embrace my experience and knowledge. I want to ground myself in my evolving competence. Is this growing older? I ask my heroes, what's your advice about aging gracefully?
Is to be old when you're young and to be young when you're old. Another thing is to utilize your wisdom and to act on the wisdom that you've gained through your experience. Don't try to keep ignoring it in order to stay youthful. develop a sense of detachment, because when we get too attached to how things are supposed to be, we're setting ourselves up for disappointment because we think we're in control. We're really not in control anyway. And I think that remaining passionate about something, find what you're passionate for and continue to follow your passion, is a beautiful way to go through life.
Just don't stop doing what you love. Have fun. You know, don't be afraid to be silly. Make them laugh, make them laugh, make them laugh.